Hey, what's up guys? Growin The Hobby coming back to you guys with another break video slash story video. So we're going to do a little bit of an update here today. We're going to break something so that you guys aren't just like kind of staring at nothing here. So I figure we'll break a product as we do some talking here today. But I want to revisit our scumbag here. If you guys haven't seen the scammer video that was on here and stuff, it was a pretty popular video. Of which I had some clown try to scam me out of some serious cards and stuff like that and money. If you didn't check that out, I'll probably I'll link that here in the video as well for you guys to check it out if you didn't already check that out. I'm not going to get super into that first one, but yeah, let's fill in the background cards here very quickly. I want to show you everything here is pertinent to the video today. We're going to try and touch on a lot. Like I said, do a little bit of talking and stuff like that. So first card here, and it's going to be like totally random, but you guys will see how this all makes sense. So this is a 13-14 Panini Prism Nail Yakupov rookie card right here. I pulled this one back in the day, and he was the kind of, the guy, actually, not the kind of the guy at the time that everybody was after and stuff like that. He was the big guy and stuff that you were hunting. He just didn't really pan out in the NHL. But we'll put that up there. That's pertinent to our story here in a few minutes. Other card. Completely different sport, but an awesome one. First time I'm showing on the channel here. Look at this bad boy. Been looking for one of these. I was actually just going to get a regular Topps one, but the Topps Chrome popped up, and what a sick card. So the 2004 Topps Chrome, I'm trying to keep that shine on because it's just crazy shine. Topps Chrome Ben Roethlisberger PSA 10 rookie card right there. I've always wanted one of these, and now that he's retired and stuff like that, I do think it's going to go up some. And even if it doesn't, I don't really care. This is a card for the PC for sure. First one of those I've owned. So throw that back there. And that's actually pertinent to the story today too. So a very quick recap, and I'll tell you guys too, we're going to bust this box of 2021 extended series. We're going to do a blaster box here break on this same video here, so you guys aren't just staring, like I said, into space as I talk. But let me show you the other stuff that I had to show you, and then we'll get right into that break and talk about the other things that we need to get to. So yeah, said scumbag Frankie from Bourbon, Missouri. And again, not getting into too many more specifics. A little bit of an update there. So once again, he scammed me out of 2 packages, sent me this crap in the mail. It was supposed to be a PSA 9 and a PSA 10 Mike Trout rookie card. And package number 1 for the PSA 9 Trout rookie sent me about 5 cents worth of stupid common Pokemon cards in this little envelope that came in the shipping thing. And like I said, there's a lot more detailed description of what happened in that other scammer video that I'll link for you guys. So without getting too far into that, then the second package came. I opened that on camera for you guys in that video. And in that one, we got another 1-cent Pokemon card here. At least it's a shiny one, but it's still, maybe it's worth like $0.015. But yeah, not too much at all. That came in that little envelope. And in the same package, the meat of the package, still haven't opened it. I'm going to enjoy it one of these days. I don't know what I'm going to do with it other than chew it, but I might do something with this. He sent me this nice little sealed pack, 4-pack here of Juicy Fruit. And it's not expired or anything like that. August 22, so perfectly good gum. So I'll put that to some use. For sure. But yeah, this guy is such a scumbag. And as I'm going to get into this break here and talk to you guys, I want to talk to you guys about what happened with the rest of the scam, where we're at with that scam. I want to give you guys a positive note, and I also want to tell you guys about a shady potential trade that almost went down with me, and I did not do, which I'm glad that I did not do. So I'm going to kind of go slowly through these cards as well. If I hit something big, I'll point that out to you guys. Arthur Kalyev's the big young guns in here. You're going to get a lot of inserts and stuff like that. We should be getting probably about 2 young guns in here. 8 cards per pack, 7 packs per box, so 56 total cards. The odds are right there for anybody that wants those. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to slowly go through these cards as we talk. So the update on the original scam here from Mr. Frankie Scumbag. Well, I finally got back both packages. I was absolutely sweating this out. So as you guys know from the first video, I did a postal intercept on package number 2 and package number 1. They actually grabbed for me at the post office, held it for me, did return to sender on that. Well, I should have got that package back first. The first package they did return to sender. Instead, I got the postal intercept package back, and I got that package back very quickly, like within a week of doing the intercept and stuff like that. The one that they did return to sender on, I did not get. I did not get, and I'm sitting there, I'm sweating as the weeks are going by and stuff like that. And I talked to my local post office, and they said, give their post office a call, see if they can tell you anything, because when I search the tracking, all it shows is it's being returned to sender and stuff like that. So I called the Missouri post office again, get them on the phone. They remembered me. They look it up and everything else, and they're like, yeah, we stuck it back in the mail that very day to come back to you. And they're like, maybe it got lost. And I'm like, well, crap. It might have actually got lost in the mail. Things like that do happen. And, it really would have stunk. And I actually came to the conclusion that I was going to lose that card, or that package, I should say. And, it stunk because it was really, some nice cards in there and stuff like that. And I gave up on it, like I said. But lo and behold, almost a full month later, that card came back to me finally in the mail with the other cards and stuff like that. The package, it came back to me. It just showed up one day, this banged up package. I was so pumped to see it. And, I was super stoked. And so, like I said, to close out, my end of that, I did get my, cards and 2 packages back. So it all worked out with that. Cost me about $30, because of the shipping and then also paying the postal intercept and stuff like that. But, definitely worth it and stuff rather than letting the scumbag have these cards. So, that being said, I will also kind of skip around here a little bit. And the reason that I threw this Ben Roethlisberger up, and it's the first time you've seen it on the channel, this is kind of the good of the story. So, this is proof positive that there are, in fact, good traders out there. I can't tell you guys, everybody that's definitely a good trader and who's not. And all I can give you guys is my pointers and things that I've come across and learned. I don't profess to be an expert in any aspect of trading or anything like that. There is definitely some really good traders, though, and really shady ones out there. And flat-out scammers like this scumbag was in Missouri. But, again, guys, what is cool about this card, so I did complete this Roethlisberger trade with somebody I'd never traded before. And it worked out really great because I sent the stuff, he sent the stuff. He had good ratings and stuff like that. We had some trust between us. He seemed like a decent guy, and all worked out. All worked out, and that was through Instagram. All worked out, and what was cool was I got that package in the mail with that trade, which was my first trade since the scumbag ripped me off. I got this card and package in the mail with that card with a good trade the same day that I got back that return to sender on the first package, like a month later and stuff. So it was kind of like coming full circle for me. An end of the bad scumbag trader and then, a good, decent trader and stuff where it worked out. And now to close out everything with said scumbag, as of the recording of this video, I wanted to tell you guys this. I tried to look into this. And again, on the first video, I did put some of the info and stuff like that because you guys kind of, wanted me to put stuff out there so nobody gets ripped off. And I understand that. I was just kind of walking a fine line here. I didn't want to put out, super personal information or anything like that, like the guy's address or, last name, things like that. So I didn't do that. But I did put in the description on that one the eBay username and as well as the Instagram, handle and stuff like that. So I checked just prior, once again, to making this video here to see what's going on with those. I would have thought maybe, he blocked them or took them down, because I'm assuming he's done this before. And I can tell you guys, they're both active still. So keep an eye out. So the eBay username is BaseballC0. And as of today, he has 17, transactions completed. 0 as a seller. They're all as buyers, but he got 100% feedback as a buyer. And 0 selling once again. And he has been a member since December 22nd, 2021. So really only about a month on eBay too. So, that's another kind of flag thing, stuff to watch. As far as the Instagram and stuff goes, under his account there, which again, it's in the original video description if you want all that. He still has it active. I haven't blocked, but he has it active still to this date. I thought maybe he would have taken it down, but nope. He is still active. He has 21 followers, and he is following 6 people back with 0 posts on the account. So said scumbag is still out there, so just use some caution. Like I said, guys, this guy is still out there. Now, that all being said, let's get into today's kind of other story. Like I said, I know a lot of you guys appreciated that story. I don't normally tell a lot of stories during these videos and stuff like that. It's more about the cards. But I do have a couple other stories to share with you guys. And I have one today, and I actually have one more. I hope I don't have more than actually that one more for the other video I've yet to make too. Because for the most part, they're unfortunately about bad dealings or shady dealings or things like that. The story I'm going to talk to you about today, guys, as we finish opening these packs here slowly, is a shady trade. And I use that like in air quotes, the shady stuff. Because I genuinely can't say, this guy's not a scam or anything like that. But I just, this potential trade that almost happened and didn't happen, I'll tell you it didn't happen in the end, but it almost happened and didn't happen, left a sour taste in my mouth for sure, and it's definitely a guy that, you know, I don't think I'd deal with him. But again, that being said, guys, I'm not going to tell you the guy's, you know, username or any of that stuff like that, because once again, there was no things that happened. He didn't rip me off. He didn't scam me, anything like that. It's just I didn't like the way that the trade went, and, you know, maybe we can learn some things from my story. You know, I learned a couple things from, you know, my dealings with it, and, you know, the way that I handle it and stuff like that. And once again, I don't profess to be an expert in any of this stuff. You know, anything you guys can take from these stories or information I give, you know, I'm more than happy to share if this saves somebody a headache potentially at some point, or if you learned something, you know, really. So that being said, let's get into the story, guys. So let's see. I had a card for sale on eBay, and I had a guy reach out to me, start messaging me back and forth and stuff like that. You know, he was really interested in the card. The card was a pretty decent value card. I want to say a little over $1,000 or so, probably $1,000 to $1,500 on the value of this card. And, you know, I had it listed and stuff like that. And this guy reached out to me. He said, you know, would you be open to a trade and this and that? And it just, there was a lot of dialect and conversation, and it basically led to, you know, it'd be a lot easier if we just communicated on Instagram, because it's a little quicker messaging. We can go back and forth for how often we were trying to communicate. So we went to Instagram, and we get on Instagram and stuff like that. The guy has a reputable page, you know, with a lot of followers, things like that. You know, everything looks very legit. It's nothing that looks shady by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm like, okay, I'm dealing with somebody legit. And at this time, you know, he's like, you know, do you want to do a cash thing, or do you want to do, you know, trade and stuff? And I said, you know, of course, I'm a collector first. You know, I'm open to trades and stuff like that, just depending on what the return is. So, you know, I'm not against it. It just depends on what you have for trade. And so he sends me this like list of pictures and everything else on Instagram of, my gosh, I don't even know, about, I don't know, 25 or so cards. And they were kind of like all over the place and stuff like that. And I went through them all, and there was nothing that was specifically on my want list. Like, I have a want list right now that I just kind of at all times, and they're really high value cards, but, you know, I'm trying to be a little more concise and fine tuned for the cards I'm going for, because, you know, I just got out of control with the cards I'm going for. I just, you know, feasibly, monetarily, I just can't go for every card that I want. So I'm trying to go for the higher end cards that I really, really want to add in my PC, and I'm kind of getting rid of some cards, you know, as we go along here and stuff, just to kind of get those funds to be able to buy some of these. But anyway, I look through the guy's cards, and, you know, he really doesn't have anything that's on my list that I'm hunting for. And, you know, I tell the guy, I'm like, you know, I don't know that I really want anything here. I said, you know, do you have anything else? And he sends me a few more cards. And all these cards, like, combined, the collective, say, 35 or so cards that were pictured, he had one card that intrigued me. I wasn't super excited about it, but I was definitely intrigued. It was a 15-16 Ice Premiers out of 99 Connor McDavid rookie card. And it was, you know, it was raw. It was not great or anything like that, but it looked in decent shape. And obviously that was going to be a trade, you know, card for card. But I told him, I said, you know, I can make, you know, this work out, whether it's a trade for bigger cards in addition to the one that you want, or if I got to add some cash in or something like that, I might be willing to, you know, for that card. Well, he promptly tells me that card is spoken for to a friend or something like that. And I'm like, okay, well, why'd you show it to me and tell me it's for trade, you know? But he says, oh, you know, I didn't realize it's there. I said, okay, no big deal. So then I said, I don't know that anything really intrigues me and stuff like that. And he starts to talk up this one card that's in there. And this one card, I'm going to show you here as we talk about this here and kind of go along and stuff like that. This card right here, this is where this card comes into play. So it's not this exact card, but a 13-14 Prism, which looks just like this. Obviously, these are 13-14 Prisms. He had an Alexander Barkov rookie card, and it was the gold parallel. So golds are out of 10. I don't remember the exact number it was out of 10, but it was a gold out of 10. So same design, all that stuff like that, with the rookie stamp at the bottom, you know, same year, all that stuff like that. Alexander Barkov, gold rookie out of 10. You know, Barkov's a great player, don't get me wrong. You know, he's not a Crosby or Ovechkin or McDavid, but he is a very good player and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, I don't know if I want that and stuff like that. I said, you know, what do you really want me to, you know, to get this card and stuff like that? I said, you know, I'm not sure, and I wasn't even sure, honestly, if it was even going to balance out with my trade. And he professes to send me a link to eBay and stuff like that. And he has it listed for like, oh my gosh, what the heck was it? I think I even wrote it down here for myself somewhere, or maybe I didn't. But I think, okay, yeah, here you go. He had it listed for $7,000 on eBay, or best offer. And again, it's a raw card too. And there's no comps on it because it's, it's a unique card and stuff like that. There's no comps on it. You can't find comps on it. And, Prism Hockey was very, 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 very kind of short-lived and stuff like that. So it's really, really hard to find a lot of comps to Prism Hockey Gold parallels to begin with of any cards. So that being said, I was like, I don't know, what are we talking here and stuff like that. And he says, it's a $7,000 card on eBay. Then he tells me immediately, I'm willing to trade it. I'd like to trade you this card, but I've had offers of $2,000 already on eBay that I've turned down, and I've had offers up to $4,000 on Instagram that I've also turned down. And he's telling me it's such a high card and all this stuff like that. And I said, I really don't want the card personally, but if it's something that I could just turn around and just sell, I'm fine with it, as long as I just get the cash that I'm looking for anyway, because I want cash to be able to put towards some of these big cards. So I said, if it's something I can sell, that's fine. And he says, oh yeah, I guarantee you, you're going to sell this big money, make all kinds of money, blah, 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 blah. And he sends me a screenshot even on Instagram showing like this eBay supposed offer and stuff like that. And quite honestly, like he has a lot of it blacked out where you can't see a lot of it. And, I'm not saying it's, not legit or anything like that, but I'm like, I don't know. And let me just tell you this, guys. So I searched comps and stuff like that as best I could. And I will tell you guys this. So the regular Alexander Barkov, the base Prism card, not the gold parallel, the base, sells for about $20 on the regular on eBay. And then like other comps, if I look at like gold comparables there with Prism Hockey, let's use these for examples. Most recent sales, no less. So in the last 3 months, 90 days. A rookie autograph version in the gold of Ryan Murray. So not only is it the gold out of 10, but it's an autograph rookie card of Ryan Murray, sold for $5.50. A rookie gold non-autograph, so kind of the same thing as that Barkov would have been, but this time it's of Jamie Alexiak, former Penguin. Rookie gold sold for $18. And then the highest, by far the highest sale of any Prism Gold hockey card on eBay with any type of comp is the Marty St. Louis, which sold for $300. And once again, that was by far the highest. So I'm like, it's not seeming right to me. So we're going back and forth all day long. This guy tells me, I'll do the deal for you and stuff like that. And I send him an offer over because he wants more than just my card. And I said, okay. Came up with about, I think it was like $2,500 in value or something like that in trade, including the card that he wanted and approached me for in the first place. And I said, I'm basing this on the fact that you're telling me you have an offer of $2,000. I'm going to trust you. You sent me that. So, and honestly, I don't even know I'm going to get $2,000, but I'm going to list this card for what you said, and I'm going to take the first offer I get at $2,000 or more. And I'm just going to go with the lowest offer or whatever the offer is that you got right now, the highest offer, $2,000. So let's stretch and say I sell the card for $2,000. After eBay fees and everything else, I'm looking at only around $1,500. So I'm like, I'm giving you $2,500 in cards to try to pocket $1,500. And, and that's me having to move the card and stuff like that, no less, And this guy's just not having it. He wants me to add more and more and stuff like that in there. He's just talking this card up, telling me how great it is. And he tells me, oh, baby, look at that. That's the hit of our box here. How about that? McDavid Ultimate Victory Throwback. Nice, nice, nice. Sorry, guys, to interject with that, but I don't have that one. That's a pretty cool card. But, yeah, so back to this stuff with this guy. So he's telling me, I'll give you this guy's exact username and stuff on eBay. He's a good lead, and he already told me he'd pay more. I just don't know how much more. And I'm like, all right, well, I mean, it's a cool card. I don't know that it's quite worth that, but, I'm willing to kind of go back and forth. And I don't know if I was in a good mood or I was in a vulnerable mood or what it was, but I wound up offering this guy just tons and tons of cards. He's telling me he's a Penguins fan. I have a lot of Penguins cards. So I start sending him pictures of different cards and stuff like that, that have some decent value. And we go back and forth. And in all honesty, guys, I mean, this pile of cards wound up adding, I think I had like 9 Penguins cards for him that were all, good Penguins cards, and then 5 like higher end cards that were really, really good value. And if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to toggle through. I'll do a recap here slowly as we finish out this video and this story. I offered him all this stuff, and in the end, I'm like, maybe he wants, because he's trying to tell me, oh, I'm getting these other offers and stuff like that, and I wouldn't mind cash, blah, 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 and maybe I should just go with theirs. And I said, you know what, I'll add in $100 cash if you want a little bit of cash. I don't mind throwing $100 in, because quite honestly, like I said, guys, I like to use that for people that I don't know and I've never dealt with before. I like to do some cash going one way or the other, because quite honestly, if you do it on PayPal, I like to have, whether it's me receiving it or the other guy receiving it, I like to have typed into the transaction the exact trade, so that it's a little bit of a legal document. You have it kind of spelled out there, and there's some money involved, and you have it in print. So I had no problem, throwing $100 at least towards him. And, I honestly didn't even realize, but I had thrown out about, what was it, $4,000 or so in trade value, plus $100 cash, when I add this all up to myself later, like based on sales of these cards I offered him. And I'm like, this is crazy. And we're just going back and forth, and he actually wanted me to throw in a Cale Makar Future Watch Auto, which, sells for about $1,000 raw. And I'm like, I'm not throwing that in. And, it kind of came down to these things. And it was the end of the night. This went on for like 8 hours, this negotiation, honest to gosh. And end of the night rolls around, and the proposal's there. Like I said, it's like 5 big cards and like 9 pence cards, $100 cash. And he closes out and says, up it to $200 cash, and it's a deal. And I said, all right, up it to 200, these cards or whatever, and it's a deal. And he's like, yeah. And I said, all right, well, you know what? It's getting pretty late. And he agreed with me. Let's revisit this in the morning and stuff like that, and we'll close the deal if we are both happy. And I said, okay. And I'd looked into this guy in the meantime. He actually looks like he runs a sports card store, perhaps. A lot of feedback and stuff like that. I didn't see anything negative, and I'm not even saying, anything directly negative with this guy. I just don't like the way that this proposed trade went down. So next day rolls around, and I'm just like, this just doesn't set right with me, because giving him like, say, $4,000 in cards or whatever, and including $200 in cash, and I'm like, I have to sell this card for at least $4,500 on eBay to just break even basically after fees. And I'm like, it's probably not going to happen. I just don't want to deal with this. But in the meantime, I knew he wanted these cards, and I'm like, let me go through his cards again, stuff like that. I know there was nothing else I really wanted, but I looked through there, and he had I'm trying to remember these exactly how this went. He had a BGS 9 Ovechkin Young Guns. He had a BGS 9.5 Crosby Young Guns, and he had a BGS, I think, 9.5 McDavid Young Guns. Now, I wasn't really hunting any of those at all, but because I pretty much have what I want from those right now. I have PSA 10s and all that stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what, though? I mean, they sell, obviously, and stuff like that. I'm looking to get bigger cards. At the very least, maybe I could trade for some of those. I know they're an easy sell. Maybe we can work something out anyway. So I'd gone through recent comps. I come up with prices and stuff like that of what they're selling for. And I decide the Crosby BGS 9.5 and the Ovechkin BGS 9, at the time of this trade proposal, between the two of them on the most recent sales, they totaled up to about $5,000, I think. $5,000 or $4,500, somewhere in between there, $4,500 to $5,000 combined. And I'm like, I know that he wants that Cale Makar Future Watch Auto, which, sells for around $1,000. So next day comes around. In the morning, I send him a message, and I'm like, hey, I've thought about this and stuff like that, and quite honestly, I'm not a big fan of that trade. I don't really want that card. It's too much risk. I explained to him my reasoning behind it, and he's like, well, I had second thoughts too, just so you know, and, I've had tons and tons of offers rolling in and stuff like that, and honestly, I want to work with you because I offered you it first, so if you want to up your offer for this card, then I'd consider it. And I'm like, up my offer. I don't even want the card. So I tell him no. And then it's funny because he's telling me up my offer because he has all these high offers. Well, the next thing you know, he tells me that, because I'd asked him more about this card. I guess I should throw this out there. He refused to give me the Instagram lead of 4,000 because he said, oh, that's a friend. I'll give you the eBay one. So just throw that out there as well. But he's telling me to offer him more, and I tell him no. Next thing you know, he says, well, we'll do it for the original deal if you want it. And I said, the original deal? And he's like, yeah, the all the cards and the $200 or whatever. And I said, no, I don't want it. He's like, well, I'll do it for what you wanted, 100. And I said, 100? What are you even referring to? He's like, oh, no, you want you give me all those cards on $100 cash like you want, and I'll do the deal. And I'm like, dude, no, I don't. And it's weird how this guy goes from that to that. You know, one minute he wants me to add, and now he's taken off from the deal even. And I said, no, you know, I don't want the card. I just plain don't want the card. I don't want to move it. But then I said, you know what, though? I know you want these cards of mine, stuff like that, and I also know you want the McCar Future Watch autos. So how about I throw that in, and I leave the cash at the $300 or whatever the heck it was, and all the cards plus the McCar. I said, I will trade you those straight up for the BGS 9 Ovechkin and the Crosby BGS 9.5. I'm giving you I think it was like $5,500 in card value plus $300 cash for cards that were totaling between $4,500 and $5,000, of which I'm going to lose fees and stuff like that by listing these and trying to sell them. He immediately says no hesitation at all. And mind you, these were on his list that he offered to trade to me. He said, absolutely not, no way, not interested. So then I had a plan B. I said, okay, you know what? I am willing to do the Ovechkin BGS 9 and the McDavid BGS 9.5 in place, of the Crosby BGS 9.5. I said, I'll do that exact trade, and let's take the cash end out of this, though, down to at least $100. And I do that, but I'm not paying that full price because, quite honestly, that dropped the price by, it was between $250 and $500. That McDavid was selling less than the Crosby at the time. So, I said, I'll do that. Again, no hesitation. He says, absolutely not. And I'm like, why is this? You're telling me this card that you're guaranteeing me is going to sell for like $6,000 wherever on eBay. I'm picking two cards from your list, and I'm offering you way more than our original deal. And you do not want to do the deal now for cards that come out to a couple of thousand less than the card that you're trying to get me to take. And, I'm like, this is crazy. And it kind of ends by saying, he's like, nope, I'm not going to do the deal and stuff like that. And as a matter of fact, I have an offer coming in right now. I'm going to take it, and it's way, way higher and all this stuff like that. Well, I watched this card on eBay, and I can tell you guys, it went all the way through its auction time, didn't sell. And it did it again, I believe, and didn't sell. And it's since been pulled from eBay, no sale. I can't find any recorded sale of this card, and I don't think there was one. I think this guy has it and stuff like that, still for himself. So we did not do the deal. And like I said, guys, this is not meant to bash anybody, and that's why I'm not giving out any info on this guy and stuff like that. He could be, a really decent dude. He seemed like it in conversation. But this just rubbed me the wrong way. It left a sour taste in my mouth. I don't think I'd ever deal with this guy again because I just don't like it. In the first place, he's busy telling me, all these cards are for trade. Well, then I pick the McDavid. Oh, no, that one's not available. So then he talks me into this other card, and it's the only one he wants to trade. And, he finally more or less talks me into it, and then I start offering crazy amounts of cards. And I'm like, dude, no, it's crazy. He's guaranteeing me all this money. So, I think about this overnight, sleep on it and stuff, and he's trying to hit me with a higher amount. I refuse that. Then he's going with the original amount, and I refuse that. And then he says, I'll take money off, and I refuse that. That doesn't make any sense. Then I give him the proposal with a $1,000 Cale Makar thrown in on top of the original proposal for cards valued, at least according to his valuation of that Barkov, that total, $1,000 to $2,000 less with $1,000 extra card thrown in from my end. He doesn't want that. And then I take even, another $500 off by switching the cards. He doesn't want that. And these, again, are cards that he sent me that he wanted to trade. And he's like, nope, I'm only interested in trading the Barkov. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm done with this. Sorry, good luck. Have a nice life. So, the biggest moral of this story, at least for me, is don't rush into any trade with anybody, even reputable people. If you have a bad feeling in your stomach, think on it. Sometimes we get caught up in something that seems ultra rare or there's like a time constraint. Don't make a rash decision. Don't rush into anything. Honestly, sleep on it at night if it's something that you're hesitating to give up in a trade or that you're worried about value and stuff like that. Do your research, take your time. Honestly, guys, that's the biggest piece of advice I can give you from that. And like I said, guys, I actually have one more story. I'm not going to do it on this video. We'll do a future video here because this is actually an ongoing saga, but it's a huge one. It was a potentially $25,000 to $30,000 scam that I really want to tell you guys about. It's a heck of a story, and like I said, once the rest of it finishes unraveling, I'm going to do a third video, and I hope these videos help you guys, and I hope it's not boring and stuff like that. I'll probably break something on that video again so that you guys can see something during that video. But I hope you guys get something out of these, and it's not just driving you nuts and stuff like that. I hope you can learn something, anything. If this helps one person, it makes me happy. And, I hope I don't have to make a ton more of these videos, because for the most part, they're kind of negative and stuff like that. And, I'd rather make positive videos, but I want these things to get out there, and I want people to be aware of certain things, and, don't get burned in trades and, different things like that, or get ripped off by, scumbags like Frankie from Missouri, So yeah, guys, I hope you appreciate it and stuff like that. I know it was a longer video. I appreciate if you made it all the way to the end. Please do me a favor if you can. Like, subscribe, share, click that bell notification button to be notified of future videos. Lots more of them coming to you guys, as always, in the description below. You can find my email address, mailing address, and Instagram handle. Other than that, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I hope you all have a great day, a great night where you're at, and we will see you next time.